Alright guys, what's up? Alright, more progress on this today. I ended up getting a lot done, but I also started running into like more complicated stuff like how to hook up the level range and stuff like that. See, the custom maps, I'm just jumping right into it. I'm just talking about my level editor that I'm working on right now for people who are, this is their first video, so alright, I have a multiplayer in-game level editor. Now this multiplayer in-game level editor is being set up in such a way where instead of just having like a straight, like every map, all of the things range at this specific level, I want to have it have like a smoothness where it figures out what level you currently are, and then within a range it clamps to that value, and then makes that the stage level, the level that all the monsters and loot spawns based on that. The way it used to be is it was just like every level had like a set stage level to it, and that was it, and that caused problems because it would feel like there wasn't enough granularity in the number of levels. So you would end up feeling like you were fighting skull level monsters just because you increased, you went to the next map, and yeah, like well, at least that was one of the complaints anyway. There isn't really any skull level monsters in Revulsion except for maybe if you run into an I don't know. There's sometimes some monsters can spawn at much higher difficulty, but it's kind of rare now. It's especially rare now. So, like, getting that to work, I'm having to go back through a bunch of old systems and make sure that this new system is working within the old systems, and that's a pain in the butt. So, yeah, with that said, I'm still trying to just make sure that things are spawning and that pacing works, and that's taking longer than expected. Although tonight I'm probably going to be a little bit more focused on, well, not just the pacing, but getting the new death mechanic in, because I think that's the most important thing. See, I just set the level range up to 30 to 40, and so these monsters should all be clamped at level 30. And for whatever reason, they're just not. Yikes. That hurts. Hmm. So, yeah, there's stuff like that. I'm gonna be focused mostly on just getting the new death mechanic in, because I think that when it comes to the level editor stuff, I guess I should have expected that it was gonna end up being kind of a pain in the ass. You know what I mean? Like there's really no two ways about it. It's getting a whole entire new system to work with the new, with an old system. With that said, though, it does help me kind of mentally figure out how I want to more cleanly implement the stuff for the new game. So I clamped this at 30 to 40. I don't know. I don't know. Uh, let's see. There was some other things as well. Some stuff that I can actually show off. I got the keys and doors working now. Um, but I won't be able to show you that in this. So let me go ahead and exit out. Uh, I can show that off real quick, and then I think from there, what I'll do, I'll have to fight a bunch of monsters though if I'm gonna. Come on, turret, get him. Jesus, took forever to kill him. I'm still looking for loot, even though I know. So let's see. So I updated the graphics for the key. Oh god. Oh god. Stuff. So for the when you have the keys picked up and everything like that, it shows a better looking graphic. Christ, why did I make this so hard? One of the things is like whenever I'm working on a map, I always set it to the hardest difficulty because the hardest difficulty requires the most balancing attention. So usually whenever I just automatically assume that it's going to be the hardest difficulty. That way, I don't have to spend extra time trying to rebalance things for harder stuff because harder stuff requires more balancing. Okay. Jesus Christ. No, no, no. Come on down. Jesus, it just sits up there. Alright. So you'll notice that some doors now have a key graphic in front of them, and that means that I need the red key to open the door. And the red key is over there. So that's now set up. That's all working. You know, it's not exactly groundbreaking stuff, but and you'll notice on the bottom right is the exact same icon that's used for you know, you to get the key. So yeah, that's all set up now. It took me a little bit to like figure out how I wanted to present it and everything like that. And there you go. So yeah, and vending machines working now as well. Stuff like that. Yeah. Slowly but surely everything's coming together. I guess it's not really that slowly. I guess one of the things that people keep mentioning is that it's actually happening at a pretty decent pace. But it's also requiring like a lot of attention at the moment because it's just so much stuff that needs to come together. I do feel though like once I have the editor working perfectly for the first revulsion, then getting it to work for the second revulsion, well, I mean that's just going to be a lot easier because it's all part of the same system. There's no need to like switch between two different builds of the game and all that stuff. Oh yeah, you weren't able to see the key on the right side of the screen because my head was in the fucking way. Maybe I should have like a setting for like streamers where it just like moves all the HUD elements around so that you know when your streamers can have space for their heads. Let's see. With that said, yeah, going through all the old systems, a pain in the ass. That's pretty much it. I'm still making a lot of progress on this. Um, I think the next time, I think tomorrow, you'll get to see some kind of rudimentary, implementation of the death mechanic and everything like that. Just keep in mind that I want to try and get the new version of the map out on the 23rd of the game out on the 23rd. I said map, but and that coincides with the sale for the game. Uh, I don't know what state the editor is going to be in at that point in time. You might be able to build maps, but it might be missing a lot of stuff. There's still going to be a lot more that needs to be done to like implement all of the new like scripting system and everything like that. I'm not even really 100% sure if it's necessary to utilize all of that new stuff. Like, maybe a lot of the new stuff can just be for Revulsion 2, and basically all this gives you is a way to build, basic, maps for the game where it's not using all of the new stuff like being able to go underwater or, all this like crazy stuff like flight zones um, and everything like that. It will have jump pads though, because those aren't really that hard to. Those are already hooked up. I just never put them in the game. Things like that. That's pretty much it though. It's coming along. Tomorrow, tomorrow I'll show off the new death mechanic. I think that'll be a really big thing because while it might seem like a small change, it's actually a really huge change to the game overall because it gives well it changes the frustration level of the game a lot. I don't know, like, well, I guess we'll have to see how it goes. But I have a feeling that it's like something like that is just going to be a really good idea to have, and it'll sort of help me figure out how I want to make it work in the second revulsion as well. So, with that said, let's see. Yeah, there's not much else to say. I just don't know why this isn't taking. It should set, but it's not. It's a little strange. Okay, so with that said, I'm gonna try and get all of this figured out, and I'll have something. I'll have something a little bit more to show tomorrow.